Texas State quarterback TJ Finley is one of the more underrated and less appreciated quarterbacks of the 2023 college football season and potentially the 2024 NFL draft. I'm going to tell you why and more coming up next.
You are Locked On NFL Draft, your daily podcast covering the NFL Draft. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Locked On family? Welcome back to the Locked On NFL Draft Podcast, your daily podcast covering your favorite draft prospects, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your boy, Damian Parson, always on the ones and twos. You can find and follow me on X at DP_NFL. I'm a national scout and a senior draft analyst. And thank you for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listens today and every day. Shout out for being our everydayers. Guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I am solo dolo today. I'll let Keith go be with your family, brother. I'll talk to the peeps. I'll talk to our Locked On NFL Draft family. And guys, we got a fun show. We're previewing the First Responders Bowl today. We're going to have a discussion about quarterback TJ Finley, former LSU Tiger, former Auburn Tiger, but now with the Texas State football team, and he is having a good season. We're going to talk about his game and what I want to see and what we should be looking forward to on tomorrow evening. Next, we got Luke McCaffrey, the younger brother of Christian McCaffrey. How deep does the McCaffrey football bloodlines run? We're going to talk about Luke's game and what we're expecting from him on tomorrow evening as well. And then Texas State defensive end, I believe their top sack artist, Benjamin Bell. All right, Ben Bell. We'll talk about his game and him as an outside linebacker and what it means for his 2024 NFL draft hopes. But guys, let's get into it and let's talk about Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Family, TJ Finley, listed at 6'6", 255 pounds. This is a big guy. Got some good athleticism for his size and has a rocket arm. Typically, as in terms for draft prospects and draft status, we talk about those cliches, right? He can make every throw in the book. Okay, he's got a rocket arm, right? He can drive throws. Okay, he can throw it through a brick wall, right? All those cliche and draft terminology you hear the national media and even us here on the Locked On NFL Draft podcast talk about, right? With guys with top tier arm talent. But you look at the season that TJ Finley had, 68.6% completion percentage, 3,287 yards passing, 29 total touchdowns with 24 passing, 5 rushing. Listen, the big arm is legitimate, okay, guys? And when I talk about stretching the field, you know my slogan, I want my quarterback to make the defense cover every blade of grass on the football field. And out of his 32, almost 3,300 yards passing, 779 of those and 6 of his 24 passing touchdowns came on passes that traveled 20 plus yards in the air. So passes 20 yards down the field, right? You're talking about air yardage, him going down the field into the deep waters, right? Deep portion of the defense in that third layer, that third level. He did good. He, for the most part, the completion percentage wasn't the greatest. Going down the field, the completion percentage is always going to dip a little because it's the most risky throw. It's not the safest throw, as in you throwing 15 screens a game or throwing to wide open guys in the flat, stuff that pad the completion percentage and give you a bunch of yak where the quarterback doesn't do a lot of work, is just getting the ball out quick and let West Coast offense type stuff, things like that, right? So with TJ, man, I really appreciate what I've seen from him. He's really, in my opinion, I think he's matured his game, right? You saw the natural maturation of him, where he's not just a fastball pitcher as much as he has been throughout early in his career, right? The first 3 years prior to this second transfer in his career, going from LSU to Auburn, from Auburn to Texas State. I think he's shown the ability to throw with more touch, more of a feathery touch, be able to layer the ball over middle of the field defenders, but especially attacking the deep portions of the field, guys. What I really appreciate with him is the ability to not just attack the deep portions, but throw that rainbow, throw that ball with arc and air and touch, where your receiver, if he stacks the guy and you got one-on-one with the cover one safety backside trying to double your number one, can you get it to the number two? Can you get it if they're doubling your X? Can you get it to the Z? And he's shown the ability to do that, in my opinion. He's shown the ability to just drop back, throw that fade ball, throw that go route, that takeoff, that fly pattern, and throw it with enough arc on it to allow guys to run underneath it. I hate, we all hate to see the overthrows, right? Where a guy, the receiver separates on the outside, but the quarterback doesn't have the accuracy, the touch, the timing, or ball placement to then optimize that rep and let it be a touchdown. At worst, a big 40-yard bomb, right? Instead, you threw it 10 yards in front. Instead, you threw it 5 yards in front, right? And the guy can't. You threw it 2 yards too far, and he can't reel it in. So I think that's going to be a big thing in this game for TJ Finley. It just show that maturation process, okay? Show that maturation process of what you have learned, what you have been able to do this season. He's done a good job in the quick game, talking about 0 to 10 or 0 to 9 yards, over 1,300 of his yards, just getting the ball out quick, working the quick game, right? Taking the underneath routes. And I always say this, man. I always talk about this. And anytime I talk to like toolsy quarterback prospects, I always say, can you do the Tom Brady thing? Can you take the boring route? Okay. If they're playing a too high shell, can you take the underneath? Okay. Can you hit the angle route to the running back? Can you hit the option route, the quick out, the quick flat? Can you hit those routes when that's what they're giving you? Right? Because if you hit it enough, we've seen it with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots during his 18, 19, 20 year career, even with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When you hit the short routes, now they're in too high shell. They want to take away the deep throw, but you keep chipping away. It's death by 1,000 cuts. You keep chipping away, young fella. That safety, that strong safety is going to start to work down. Guys, it's literally like working in a factory. You're pulling levers, man. All right, boom, boom, boom. You're here pulling levers. And when you start pulling those levers, now you pull that lever for that strong safety, and he works his way down from the high shell, from off the roof. Instead of him being on the roof, now he's kind of in the kitchen. Okay, now you got one defender on the roof, and that's the free safety. And we would see Tom Brady hit the deep ball or hit the explosive play up the seam to Rob Gronkowski, right? To Aaron Hernandez, rest in peace. Different things of that nature, okay? So we would see that. But that's what happens when you work the quick game. So I appreciate that for him, where he's working the quick game, but he also works the intermediate, and he works the deep ball, and he's being a 3-level threat as a quarterback. Man, you can't ask for nothing more, guys. So he is draft eligible, okay? He is draft eligible. This is his 4th year in college football, right? So he could go to the NFL draft if he wanted to. And right now, in terms of projection, I would give him around that kind of 4th, 5th round type of developmental prospect grade, where you see the tools and you're a team that say, you know what, man? Okay, we have a veteran here, and we have a good offensive system. We got good receivers. I don't mind taking them on late day 2, early day 3, right? Or late, middle of the day 3. Not too far, not too deep, not 6th, 7th round, but 4th, 5th round, and you like, you know what? I'm good with this. Why? Because we're seeing Tommy DeVito play well. We're seeing Jake Browning play well. We've seen Brock Purdy become the media darling that he is, right? Because Mr. Irrelevant sounds like a great story. For a while, Joshua Dobbs was a great story, right? So at the end of the day, people, Aiden O'Connell for the Las Vegas Raiders, another great story, right? All those good things. So I think with TJ Finley, just want to see him come out in this game, orchestrate the offense, right? Like orchestrating the band, right? Just keep those guys above the chains. Stay away from the negative plays and protect the football as he's done pretty much all season, right? As he's done pretty much all season. He only has four interceptions? You know what I mean? Or something like 7 or 8. Let me pull up the graphic just to make sure. It's 8. Sorry, I had to pull up the stats. So it's around 7 to 8 interceptions. So it's still not bad, right? He's not, just chucking the ball and putting it in harm's way a ton. So TJ Finley, one of the most under the radar, underrated prospects, but also very underappreciated. I don't think a lot of people watching Texas State, but you should, because he's playing good football, and I'm getting my eyes glued when they take on Rice tomorrow evening. But guys, you're talking about taking on Rice star wide receiver Luke McCaffrey, younger brother of Christian McCaffrey. We'll talk about his game and what it means and his projection to the NFL coming up next. It's winter, guys, and that means the weather continues to get colder, but the NFL offers stay running hot on FanDuel, America's number one sportsbook. Right now, brand new customers can get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. New customers can get $150 back in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. That's $150 if your team wins. All right. So if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, you know what I always tell you: stop thinking, put some action to it, put your back into it, and go do it. Okay. But secondly, there's no better time or place to get in on set action than FanDuel. The app is super easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and so much more. So visit FanDuel.com/locked-on and kick off the NFL season. Again, let me repeat myself. Go visit FanDuel.com/locked-on and kick off the NFL season, because FanDuel is the official partner of the NFL. Rice wide receiver Luke McCaffrey, listed at 6'2", 195, 200 pounds. And this is a guy that actually entered college as a dual threat quarterback, okay, at the University of Nebraska back in 2019. And he was a guy that he was athletic. You know, he knew how to throw the football solid as a high school prospect. But after some time and it just not working out, what did he do? He transitioned over to wide receiver. Again, 6'2", 195 for 200 pounds. And one thing about his game is control. And what I mean by that, guys, is simple. He plays with control. He plays under control. And in this game, listen, on the season, Luke McCaffrey, he's had a good season, guys. He's had another good season after this is his second full year at wide receiver, if I remember correctly. And he's caught 68 receptions in 2023 for 963 receiving yards and 12 total receiving touchdowns. So what do you see from him? He's kind of worked as like a bigger slot receiver. Okay, and we could use the lazy white comps, right? We could look in like, man, maybe some Chris Hogan there, right? Maybe he's got some Chris Hogan there. Insert white slot receiver. That's what some people are going to do with them. But I do like what I've seen from him when he's lined up outside. Is he a high octane, explosive, dynamic athlete? No. Is he twitchy and just super sudden and explosive? No. What he is to me, he's nuanced, right? He plays at his own pace. So he understands how to slow roll you, how to slow play you. You think about Luka Doncic, you think about some basketball. You guys know, if you're an everydayer, okay, you know I compare football to boxing, to basketball, to baseball. It's one of my many gifts. But what you think about with those guys, right? You know, like I said, with like a Luka Doncic, I remember, Darren Williams was he was a better athlete, but he knew how to slow dribble you when he needed to, right? Jason Kidd, all those guys, that they knew when to slow the pace down, and they knew that they controlled the action with the tempo. And the next thing you know, it's a quick move and I'm at the bucket. It's a quick move and I'm vertical. And that's what Luke McCaffrey brings when he plays on the outside. His footwork is really clean, crisp. He understands the notion and the technique of always gaining ground, always climbing ground. When guys are lined up in kind of not hard press, but more soft press, they're about 2 yards or so, yard and a half off the line of scrimmage. And their first step is not to step forward and get physical, but more so step back, retreat, square you up and play soft press, and then allow you to get close to them and get their hands on. Yeah, guys, he knows how to gain ground and then use his hands, knock down and clear the hands of the DB. But also, I love his ball skills. The ball placement on some of those throws were just like, hey, man, I trust you, Luke. go make a play. But not just that, the body control is something I really appreciate as well. You talk about, okay, if he's not a guy, if he's even, he's leaving. It's if he's even, look for the back shoulder, okay? Look for the back shoulder fade if he's even. So if you're even with him, yeah, you can play the upfield shoulder if you want to. That's fine, because at 6'2", right, he does have good arm length from just what it appears on film. I don't have any verified numbers right now, but his arm length appears to be good. And what I see from him is his ability to stretch at the catch point, right, outside of his frame, away from his body, and make those catches, make those plays. But again, the back shoulder, right, the ability to stay under control, stay within his own tempo and pacing. You don't really see DBs speed him up. You don't really see that, okay? So you appreciate it when a guy can play at his pace, at his tempo, at his speed, and not allow a defender to force him to change his process. So I appreciate that heavily with him. But not only that, guys, again, he's even. You're one-on-one with him. You're in the hip pocket. Again, the body control, the confidence to turn that back shoulder and make a play, get 2 feet in, right? He's got a little bit of proness to his game. But you think about the Tyler Boyds of the world. Okay, you think about the Deion Branches with the Patriots. Okay, Jabbar Gaffney's a little bit with the Patriots, different, kind of some way back names. But you know those guys that, yeah, I may not be the most gifted athlete, but I just know how to run routes. I know how to get open. I know how to make plays, right? You know what I mean? And that's what you appreciate with him. Now, again, is he going to be a dominant receiver at the next level? I can't speak to that. I think he's going to be probably a day 3 pick, because I don't foresee him testing extremely well. But I do think that when we talking about getting on the field, just the combine, stuff like that, he should shine. And in this game against Texas State, I think it's going to be big for him to just, again, same thing with TJ Finley. Eyes are going to be on you guys, right? It's a bowl game, the day after Christmas, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, right? Smack dab in the middle of the evening. People are going to be watching, trying to look for some football, look for some good sports, all right? After the NFL and NBA dominated Christmas Day, right? After they dominate Christmas Day, what's next? Okay, to go through the week, what's next? It's bowl game season. So in this First Responders Bowl, I think Luke McCaffrey has a shot to really etch his name in stone for the 2024 NFL Draft. So, if he decides and chooses to declare, I don't think he might have 1 year eligibility left. Can't remember off the top of my head here, but yeah, like it's very simple to me. Go out there, ball with the lights are bright, ball when you have people's attention. So that then what you do as a prospect is, how do you create that momentum heading into the draft season? You ball out in the last game that they seen you, so then they can go back to the film and say, "Hey, man, okay, we got something here, coach." Scouts will say, "We got something here, coach." And again, like, this is a guy that first 2 years played quarterback, right? Played quarterback, dual threat kid, all that good stuff. Transition to wide receiver was the best thing for him long term, and I can't wait to see what it looks like for him at wide receiver in the NFL, right? Can he make the final 53-man roster, right? Think preseason to be big for him. He could be a name you hear in training camp when you're talking about that guy that's just out there balling. Okay, think Michael Thomas here. Now, Michael Thomas is 6'3", 225, whatever. Like, he was stronger in everything now, and his open field speed was good too, but he wasn't an instant explosive starter. And I think that's the same thing with Luke McCaffrey. I think, like, again, footwork, crisp and clean, the routes, the tempo, the leveraging, right? Stem work to move a guy. If you're going to run that slant and that guy's taking away that inside leverage, what do? You can shuffle release or run them release off the spot, and you can diamond cut them. Okay, you can diamond cut him on the slant and get him to open his hips, get those hips, pointed perpendicular. I'm pretty sure that's the right phrase, the right word from, back in school. Trying to go back, use the old noggin there, but get those hips pointed and facing that sideline, right? That near sideline where they open the hips and open the gate, and then you break back inside. He understands how to do those things, guys. He's a good route runner, man. He can separate. Now, again, it's all about the speed, and I get that. Trust me, I get it. But this is a guy that wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5 early in his career. I think that you can have something with him, and then he's going to work his butt off. Okay, it's in his bloodline. It's in his bloodline from his father to his brothers. It's in his bloodline. It's just who Luke McCaffrey is. Listen, listen, man. What did my man's tell Batman? You know what I'm saying? You weren't forged in the darkness, baby. You know what I'm saying? This is what Luke McCaffrey was born into. It's in his bloodlines. It's in his genius to play football and play it at a high level. So looking forward to him as a 2024 NFL draft prospect, hopefully. But in this First Responders Bowl, I'm telling you, keep your eyes on him and see how they use him. They put him out in motion. He lines up in the slot. He lines up at wide. He does a lot of different things for this offense. Keep your eyes on Luke McCaffrey, okay? Number 10 wide receiver for the University of Rice, the Rice Owls, guys. But we got to get back to Texas State. We got to get back to Texas State defensive end, outside linebacker, Benjamin Bell. We're going to talk about his game and what a big game could do for him and his draft stock. We're going to talk about that coming up next. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. But if you wait to the last minute, you will, because in the last second, you're worried about finding the best deals, competing with other buyers, and trying to avoid dealing with scammers and scalpers. Let me introduce you to Gametime. They are the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. What all do they offer, DP? Well, let me tell you. Their tickets are easy to find and buy. They have last-minute tickets, flash deals, and zone deals. And this is the best part. They show the views from all the seats in the venue so you know what type of vantage point you have before you purchase your ticket. Guys, you think about it being the holiday season. What better way to end 2024 than going to seeing the Los Angeles Lakers at Smoothie King Center in New Orleans versus the Pelicans on New Year's Eve at 6 p.m. And you can get those tickets as cheap as $56 on the Gametime app. So download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Texas State edge rusher, outside linebacker, defensive end, listed at 6'2", 250 pounds, Ben Bell, a young man that has been, no pun intended, right? He's played a good year of football this season, okay? He's played good football, and you appreciate what you get out of him, okay? And I think for me, probably one of the most important things when I looked at his game, he's been a consistent pressure guy, right? 29 pressures this year, 11 QB hits. He has 8 sacks on the season, okay? He also has 1 forced fumble as well. And at 6'2", 250, again, nice, strong frame, sturdy frame. A guy that plays with his hand in the dirt, so he'll be in a 3-point stance. I've seen him in 4-point stance. He stands with he gets in a 2-point stance where he's standing up, and he has a high motor. I think he's a good athlete as well, guys. I wouldn't say he's not Myles Garrett, Von Miller, Dallas Turner, but I do believe he's a good athlete. I've seen him chase down plays backside. I'm talking walking athletic quarterbacks down from playing from the opposite side of the formation and everything. He's got active hands. He's got play strength and functional strength. I think he holds up well at the point of attack. And I think in this game, again, if you want to stop Luke McCaffrey, you want to stop Luke McCaffrey, we talked about in the second segment. Stop him from having a takeover game, not a breakout game, but a takeover game, right? He's coming off his last game. He's coming off well over 100 yards. If you want to stop that from happening, you got to get to the quarterback. And Ben Bell will be huge for that, to get after the quarterback, help create constant pressure. The more you hit quarterbacks, right? Remember Sam Darnold a couple years ago, he was playing for the Jets, playing the New England Patriots. And what did he say? They had him mic'd up and he said, "I'm seeing ghosts," right? But you don't see ghosts. You don't hear footsteps without consistent and constant pressure. And I think Ben Bell has the opportunity to prove to NFL scouts and NFL teams that will be there, in person, but also watching from home. Again, just like Luke McCaffrey and like TJ Finley earlier, when you play well, when people are watching you live, when the lights are bright, you're going to force them to go back to the tape. They have to go back out and check the all 22 and say, what can he do for us? Is he going to be a good special teamer? Everything. I think Ben Bell, he has 1 more year of eligibility left, but if he were to come out right now, solid production, he'd probably be no better than a day 3 pick. I think the arm length is going to be big for him in terms of just measuring out well to see, okay, how when he stacks and when he gets full extension, how much separation does he create between him and the offensive lineman? Is he a guy that can box and throw the jab and control the fight, or is he have listen, as when it comes on the boxing and when you have the you're fighting somebody with the reach and wingspan advantage, it's typically to give some, okay, you're gonna have to take some. And that's just what it is. So you're gonna have to take some of those straight arm punches that the tackles throw at you and everything to be able to get your hands fitted into their chest, throw that body blow, get their hand placed underneath that shoulder, that armpit right underneath their shoulder, right? Their shoulder pad, and kind of toss them out your way and clear your path. Will that be a case for him? But this is going to be a big moment for him, I think, for all three of these prospects, simply because, again, you have the opportunity, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, the day after Christmas. People are going to be watching you, and you want to be the person that they're tweeting about, right? Because if people, sports fans and football fans and everybody in the draft community, when games are going on and you're not paying attention, as soon as you see somebody tweet out, man, that Ben Bell dude is balling today for Texas State, right? He's got 2.5 sacks, and it's just the second quarter. It's just the first half. People are going to tune in. People are like, whoa, what's going on? You start seeing clips being tweeted out about the young man, and now you're starting to get more buzz, and that's how you set and blaze your own trail for the NFL draft, or at least for if he does decide to go back for 2024 to the 2025 NFL draft process. If that's the case, now you set yourself up with a great lasting impression heading into summer scouting after the draft, after everything has gone on. So Ben Bell, 6'2", 250, sturdy, strong frame, good athleticism, closing burst as well to close on the football, close on the quarterback, and his motor is infectious. You cannot coach it. You cannot teach it. It's God given. So, guys, that is our show. We talked about edge rusher for Texas State, Ben Bell. We talked about Rice, wide receiver 1, Luke McCaffrey. And then we talked about quarterback for Texas State, TJ Finley. All of these prospects the day after Christmas, all right? Tomorrow, they have the opportunity to put their best foot forward, either heading into the 2024 NFL draft or blazing that trail to the 2024 college football season and the 2025 NFL draft. But guys, listen, as always, man, thank y'all for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen today and every day. Shout out for being our everydayers, man. I'm your boy, Damian Parson. You can find and follow me on X at DP_NFL. Talk to me. Talk to us, as we always talk back, okay? Hop in the comments, like, subscribe, share, everything. Let's continue to boost these numbers up. You guys have been so supportive, jumping in, having great conversation. Even if we disagree, all right, we appreciate all the discussions in the comments and everything. We appreciate all the love and support from you guys. But listen, we got more bowl game previews coming up, especially the New Year's 6 and all that stuff. We have all that coming up, tell you what prospects to watch and everything more coming up this week, all right? So come and join the conversation again tomorrow on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.